Alright, YouTube, it was a little bit mysterious when Clinton didn't give a concession speech last night. I am going to weigh in because I officially want it to be known what I expect happened. Hillary Clinton, when she saw that she was losing the Rust Belt, she was behind in Pennsylvania, she was probably, as I said, worried at least in Virginia. She hadn't gained Florida. She realized that she had lost the election, or was extremely likely to lose the election. She began drinking. She's known as a drinker. That's not even a hidden fact. People around her acknowledge that she drinks. They just disagree on whether she chugs it. I think she chugged it last night. And I think she got just drunk enough so that she couldn't give a concession speech. Podesta had to be trotted out on stage because he's more like, apparently just wants to eat pasta all day or something. He's morbidly fixated on some of these foods. I mean, and Comet Pizza, apparently. But he's fixated on this crap, almost to the point where if he drank alcohol, he'd have so much pasta in his bloodstream, it wouldn't even make a difference. It wouldn't even get him tipsy. He had to come out on stage and say, oh, yeah, go home, people. Don't worry, it's not over till it's over. Hillary cares about you. Get a good night's sleep. We'll be back in the morning. And, of course, she's lost the election. I don't think that there was any last-minute attempt to rig things so much as there was a last-minute attempt to save face because their candidate was sauced. Which, it just makes sense. Of course, she was already tired. You've got to understand, I can partially understand even a healthy individual. Even Trump looked a little bit beat. It's by the end of the day, which makes sense. And Clinton is just not as energetic as Trump. She was stumbling earlier that day trying to get on the plane. She probably had a nap, holed up in her hotel room, and drank. She probably started drinking around the time Virginia looked like it might very well be a loss. By that point, it looked like Florida had swung, and it did. You started getting the results out of Ohio, out of Pennsylvania. She took one look at the exit polls in some of these states as the polls closed. She took one look at the results. She said, well, screw me. I'm probably going to end up in a jail cell. I might as well get sauced. Fuck the concession speech. I don't even know if she's going to give one. I still don't see a concession speech from Clinton on YouTube. I would assume that it'd be uploaded the second that it was done. She calls and concedes to Trump, oh yeah, congrats, blah, 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 here. I gotta get back to drinking. Maybe she'll flee the country. Because now we're going to have a president. It's actually fine. The Senate will remain Republican. I didn't expect that. I underestimated their odds there. They've retained the House, which I expected. They've got the presidency. They're going to get their Supreme Court nominee, at least one. They're probably going to get two more. Let's face it, you've got a bunch of old fogies on the Supreme Court that are pushing 90. At this, how much longer can Ginsburg live is the big question. And she's a liberal. She's going to get replaced by someone who's at least a moderate. Now, by the way, I will say this. Trump is going to put moderates on the Supreme Court. He's not going to stack it with a bunch of far-right, we hate abortion people. He'll go right on gun rights, but he'll probably go socially middling. And he's going to replace Ginsburg with somebody who'll be a moderate. He'll probably stack up a pretty good Supreme Court. It'll probably be more of a swing court, which is good for libertarianism, by the way. It's great. You have a pro-gun, but also like pro-gay rights Supreme Court. You can't go wrong with that. He probably will go after the ACA. Good riddance. The ACA never should have existed in the first place. At the very least, it needs to be reformed so that there's no fine, number one, and number two, you get a lot more competition. That alone would save it. You could theoretically save all the subsidies if you just had interstate competition for insurance coverage. It would no longer be a problem. It'd be a lot more affordable. Get government out of managing those prices. You don't have a problem. But unfortunately, the Democrats never wanted to reform it. They wanted single payer. You're not going to get it now. Fuck you. You're not going to get me to pay through the nose for your health care. Good. You don't deserve my money. Because the government's just going to squander most of it anyway on bureaucracy. You're not going to see the benefit. If it was going directly to you, from my pocket to yours, with 100% efficiency, you could make an argument that people who are, doing well should help out those that are more poor. Okay, that's fine from a moral standpoint at least, not necessarily an economic standpoint. But when you get bureaucracy involved, when you get government involved, efficiency drops like a rock. They end up squandering 80% of that on something else. You get pennies. That's the point. That's why we've opposed single payer. That's why we elected Trump in large part in some of these states. Some of these states that have seen screwy premium hikes. Yeah, you're not going to have an ACA anymore. It'll probably get repealed and replaced. Good. What you should do is deregulate the entire health sector. You should reform tort law. And then you should make sure, as Trump has pointed out that he will, yeah, people who aren't making a lot of money, they should have subsidies. But it doesn't need to take the form of thousands of pages of regulations. It's just not necessary. You could have had coverage, you could have had pre-existing conditions covered and removed discrimination against those who have some chronic complaint. You could have done that with a single sheet of paper. You didn't need the ACA to do that. People that are complaining about that, you're going to keep that. Trump's not going to get rid of it because it's the only popular part of the ACA. He's not stupid. 'Tis a good day. Yeah, as you can see, I'm hyper-caffeinated at the moment. But, yeah, Clinton was drunk last night. That's why she couldn't concede. It had nothing to do with rigging. I estimate she probably consumed about twice as much alcohol as I did. Now, I was just tipsy, but she's also female and smaller than I am. Maybe not smaller weight-wise. Actually, she's probably bigger weight-wise. But at the same time, she can take less alcohol on her system. She's got a small liver, even if it's bloated from decades of drunkenness. Yeah, she was sauced. That's why she couldn't concede. And I'm still not seeing a concession speech, which is a little mysterious. Maybe she's still drunk. Maybe she's desperately hungover. They're trying to pump her full of coffee and get her to jog around the block a little bit before she takes the podium or something like that. It could be live right now and I wouldn't see it because I'm here. For the rest of the day, I'm probably going to celebrate by not making content, but instead absorbing other people's content on YouTube, because it's going to be a shit show. It's going to be hilarious. I got so many people to troll. I got so many people to bother. I'm going to spam Nate Silver's page. I'm going to go attack all of these people's pages. I'm going to rip them a new asshole. It's going to be great. Yeah, I don't have anything else pressing to do. I like doubled up on the editing work a couple days ago to make up for the day I knew I wouldn't get anything accomplished. And even though that's kind of turned into 2 days, oh, I'm still way ahead in my work. I'm not worried about that as far as writing goes or anything. I might make like maybe 1 or 2 videos this evening, but don't count on it, because I still got to do my RuneScape crap. Like I did the divine location, all that stuff, my farming rotation with the Tor stall. Otherwise, but I got tired at that point. The chamomile was kicking in. I'm like, well, Trump's won. I'm elated, but at the same time, I got a lot to do tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of videos to make, and I'm not going to be able to wait until the evening to do them. Got to get it out while it's still fresh in people's minds, and there's still plenty of trolling opportunities. So yeah, that's about all. Peace out.